Let's go. Are we actually on? You're here listening with Kayla
and Georgia,
bringing you real, raw, and relatable chats on the Evolve to Thrive podcast.
Stay tuned because shit's about to get juicy as we dive into all things health, fitness, life, and relationships.
Let's go. Woo. As you ladies are probably aware, I have well and truly entered the start of my comp prep journey. As part of Like a Girl Fitness, I launch a new coaching intake every 10 weeks. I will be launching the next intake on my birthday, July 17th. So all listeners can use the code E2TSHRED for an epic $9 off your weekly subscription. It doesn't stop there. Bring a friend along for the ride and save $14 off your weekly subscription. So that is E2TSHRED, $9 off your weekly subscription, $14 if you join with a friend. Because let's be real, we know that real results are created when we evolve together. For more information, book in your free consultation at likeagirlfitness_ on Instagram and head to the link in my bio. On today's episode, we have the hilarious, entertaining, and absolute legend, Matt Iozzi on the pod. Matt is actually my gay best friend. We are basically inseparable. He is my pseudo boyfriend, knows way too much about my personal life, and all in all, is just a cracking bloke.
Oh,
cracking bloke.
What
a nice intro.
I know. I feel like I'm all a flutter in my gutter. Jesus.
Bloody love ya. Matt never disappoints on a good time, will constantly have me in laughing fits, and never fails to score the most epic tickets to VIP PR events. So the man, the myth, the legend, let's welcome
Matt Iozzi once again. Before we get into it, should we start with our craving of the week?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go for it.
Matt, tell us, what's your craving of the week?
Mate, anything covered in caramel, any time of the day, night, whatever. It's just so good.
Caramel.
I would eat a stick if it was covered in caramel.
100%.
probably.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Caramel is just like...
There's something about it. It's that sugary goodness, and it's just like, you know it's naughty, but it's bloody good.
What's your go-to caramel sweet? Or like, if you have to pick one thing caramel.
Like, do you remember those Rolo chocolates? Like yes. Like they're not like your mainstream chocolates.
Yeah.
They're not in your dream box.
No,
like
no.
Yeah, what is it called?
You get them in where the chewies are sitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
That shit's so good.
Yeah.
That
shit's my crack.
Yeah.
Legit.
Oh, I'm actually like, I always say this, anytime I'm like wanting something, I like tingle here and I start to get excited because I'm like,
You're
salivating. I'm a slut for caramel.
For that. Yeah.
Anything caramel, I'm a slut.
Yeah. Look, not going to lie. I got a caramel flavored lube once. That was really good.
So did I.
Yeah.
Salted caramel lube.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I spent more time sucking on the bottle.
Same. I was like this.
I'm like, I'm sorry, you got to go. Like,
I've actually got
I don't need you. I don't need you anymore. Like, you can vamos. Like,
No, 100%. It actually tastes like legit thing. It's not like a sweetener. It's like, I'm getting lost in caramel right now. I'm getting lost.
It's good.
Getting hot.
Yeah, a bit hot and flustered under the covers. God bless.
Kayla, what's yours?
I was going to say, I don't even have a craving this week. I haven't thought of one.
Oh, she's a nun.
I'm a nun.
Yeah, you just.
Or give us a tip.
I didn't think of one. I reckon, do you know what? It's donut day tomorrow.
It is too.
I'm going to go to Daniel's Donuts, I reckon, and get myself a big fucking donut. Because, you know what? Because I can.
Yeah.
Because I can. What about you? What are you craving this week?
I've been seeing these videos on TikTok and Instagram. My whole algorithm at the moment is just food. Have you seen the new trend, the Big Mac taco sauce? Big Mac tacos.
Yeah, I have actually.
It's like a wrap, and then they put the beef on there.
Yeah.
Do you know? Ever since we started recording this, all mine just been about food.
Just food. Every single craving. There's no tips happening.
No, there's no tips. It's just food.
Sugar,
it's just food.
Sweet food that Georgia can't eat.
Yeah. Actually, no. I probably could eat it. I'm going to make it on the weekend, I reckon. I'm going to somehow make it fit into my calories.
Make it fit.
Make it fit.
Make it fit.
Make it fit.
All right. Shall we get into the episode?
Let's do it.
All right. So, Matt, describe yourself in 3 words.
I mean, I wouldn't use the same 3 words that you used for me in the intro. That was very generous of you. I am a pretty ambitious, hardworking, and probably loyal person, I'd like to say.
You're very loyal.
Yeah, I'd cut a bitch.
For me?
Yeah, for you. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I've got a switchblade.
Don't fuck with him.
Yeah, don't fuck with my girls.
Don't fuck with him.
Yeah,
we all need a friend like that.
Yeah.
We all need a friend
like there's
that.
always one that's like in the group that's like
that will go hard.
Yeah, like let's like throw a brick through your ex's house.
You give off
me.
just by looking at you with those eyes, you give off that energy.
Yeah, it's the don't fuck with me Sicilian energy.
It's the
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like devil eyes.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me.
Do you know there's a saying.
Don't fuck with Jem.
It's mainly about Sicilian women because my mum's Sicilian, and they say that Sicilian women are like shotguns because it's like they're really pretty to look at, and everyone wants one in their home, but you fuck with it, your face gets blown off.
Producer's going off right now.
But I'm like, yeah, it fits my mum, it fits me. Like it fits
You're a shotgun girl.
Yeah, shotgun kind of guy. Yeah. Give me,
you absolutely are.
I love it. I love it.
Your ass.
You used to say that all the time in high school. That just like ding, ding, ding.
Should we? I was going to say, should we mention how we actually know that, or how we met? By the way, too.
Yeah. So how did you say? How did you meet?
It's really
Matt?
ironic because I know Matt. Obviously, everyone knows that I know Matt, but Georgia also.
I don't even know how you guys met.
I was going to say, so we met through my girlfriend who I went to uni with, who is also called Georgia. So you and I met like 8 years ago. We worked out.
8 years ago.
Which I know Georgia too, because she went to school with us too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So Georgia on the pod and Matt went to school together. And then I went to uni with our other friend, Georgia, Seymour, and that's how we come to meet in the uni days.
It's bizarre, and I didn't expect you two to ever meet or cross paths.
Yeah, how
but you
weird
did.
is that?
Yeah, it was fucking bizarre because you're like, oh, you're my friend Georgia Lay. I was like, blonde hair, like big mouth, and you're like, yep, and that was it. Done.
Big mouth. Yep, know her.
Yeah, I know her. It's so funny though. I couldn't believe it. Small world.
Like
very,
we're all
very
connected.
Small world.
Yeah,
somehow.
Crazy.
Western suburbs, babes.
Western suburbs.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone.
So, tell us, what do you do for work? Because all I hear is Kayla telling me that you're getting paid to party, and I want to hear about it. I want to hear the stories.
Yeah, look, so like up until very, very recently, my full-time job, I was the head of marketing and PR for several fashion brands. So I worked on Superdry and Replay and like Volley and Elwood and Mossimo, some brands that we've all grown up with. During COVID, when like the shit hit the fan with retail and I didn't know if like we were all going to have a job, I started up my own PR agency on the side, which I have now taken full time. I'm very happy to say. Yay! So I've finally quit the full-time gig to focus on that and take that full-time.
What a feeling.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like, and I've been building that for the last 2 years, but like I've got some pretty cool clients. So like, the major vodka sponsor of the Grand Prix, the major tequila sponsor of the UFC. I work with like the Pullman Hotel, and I do some
That's
cool
huge.
things.
Let's cut you off for a minute.
Yeah.
Now, what is the name of your side hustle that is no longer a side hustle and is your full-time gig now?
Yeah, the agency is called Madco, because the logic behind it was that besides starting with the letter M, thank you.
It definitely summarizes you to a T.
Yeah, no, well, like the idea was that it's like, like madness today is often considered genius tomorrow. If you look at anyone that's considered a genius in history, it's like, Albert Einstein or fucking Da Vinci or whatever. They were all considered batshit crazy when they first started out. And the mad ideas are generally the best ideas. So I think everyone's a little bit mad. So I certainly fucking am.
So what you're saying is you're like Albert Einstein.
I am certifiably crazy is what I'm saying. And I reckon that I should be able to make a profit off of it like anybody else.
Go for your fucking life. Go for your life.
Exactly. So that's the logic. That's the logic behind it. But yeah, that's the name. Yeah.
And you get to work with some pretty epic brands.
Yeah, I get to do some cool shit, which is very cool. It's a lot of fun.
What's the biggest brand that you work with?
Whoa, I mean, like, I just launched Canada Goose, which is a luxury apparel brand, into the Australian market. But like, I've done stuff for like Mick Fanning, like his golf tournament, his charity stuff. I've done stuff for the Grand Prix. You get to see some pretty cool things that not the everyday person would see.
Yeah. So what do you actually do for them?
So PR stands for public relations.
Yeah.
So basically my job is to get brands into mainstream media, whether that be the local paper or the national papers or on TV, on Channel 7, get my influencers that I work with, you know, presentation opportunities, get the hotel on Getaway and all that kind of stuff. I also run like major photo shoots for brands, so big campaign shoots like up in the wilderness and all sorts of things.
You get to go some crazy places.
Yeah. I was just shooting for 7 days down in Wilson's Prom, and like before that, like Queensland. I've literally jumped out of a helicopter in Queenstown doing a ski snow shoot for a brand.
What, so you like this out in ski?
Yeah, well,
ski gear?
no, I was no, actually, to be fair, the harder job was for the actual models. Because they had to jump, and then the videographer, the poor bastard, had to jump out of the helicopter as well and actually film them. I just kind of gracefully jumped and then like just made my way to like a nice little spot and then watched them and inspected the job being done. So yeah, but I got to go up in it.
That is sick.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I've gotten to do some pretty cool things over my career.
I was going to say, influencers cop a lot of shit for doing photo shoots and the kind of work that they do, working for brands and stuff. Yeah. But even helping you out with some photo shoots, it's actually a bit of work, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I think I think the influencer thing is an interesting one to play with, because I don't think that they, unless it's their business, I don't think they actually.
No, you just have to stand there and look pretty.
Well,
that's it.
But as in, like, that's one piece of an entire jigsaw puzzle, right? Like, my role was to put all those pieces together, if that makes sense. So like hire the cameramen, the filmmakers, the editors, the music, the locations, the food, the catering for the fucking event, then the talent, then the makeup artist, then this, then that. So
you're doing the whole entire thing. Have you got people working under you and for you?
Yeah. So previously at my previous role I had a whole team, which was great. And then but now working for myself, I've got subcontractors in each state, which is great, because like I was just in Perth doing stuff for the UFC. I'm going to Sydney to do that again, off to Queensland next week. And like, you need that support on ground to kind of really be able to, you need more than one set of hands.
100%.
Yeah. That's a cool job. It's a cool job. Yeah.
Wow. What would you say would be like, what was the biggest decision from when you're in COVID and you're working full time and you're like, nah, fuck it, let's put this together and get the ball rolling?
Yeah, well, like the biggest motivation, well, like besides the fact that I needed to pay my mortgage, I'd been debating it for a long, long time, and then a really close friend of mine was like who is very, very successful in business, was like, she literally said to me, she goes, Matt, you're a lot of things, but I never figured you to be a fucking pussy. And it was those words that literally, not that I find that. Was this Claire? Yeah, it was Claire. And it's not that I find that word offensive, but I was like, I'm not a fucking, I'm going to, watch me, bitch.
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
The next 24 hours, I'd bought the ABN, I'd bought the domain name, I'd set everything up. And it was more so just because someone had told me that I couldn't, or that they didn't think I could. And I just went, nah.
Yeah. You had to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Shotgun.
Yeah. Boom, bitch.
Boom. Watch me.
Yeah.
That's because sometimes you need that. Sorry.
I completely agree. I think that as much as it's like people talking about, oh yeah, like I'm my biggest supporter and I'm my biggest motivator, I often find that you can learn a lot from having other people, much like you guys at the gym, right?
100%.
Like you can have that external coach that's like, you can do a little bit better than that. That actually brings us to like the significance of why we actually got you on the podcast, because I think the reason that we got you on is because you particularly have such a significance in my life, and I think it's romantic. Oh, we love you. You're also an asshole, but but it's true. Like I think you need people in your life, I think, who support what you do. And I think if you're doing something that you hate for work, like
and same goes when you're in a job that you are going to day in, day out that you hate, like it's, you know, it's miserable. Whereas if you have good people around you, supporting you, encouraging you, I didn't tell you to be a pussy. You're like, well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make some moves and I'm gonna do what I want to do. So yeah,
and genuinely want the best for you as well, and like, won't just say yeah, that's good, but actually we'll be like, no, pull your finger out of your ass, get that happening.
I completely agree.
I was gonna say you need friends that also call you out on your bullshit, which is absolutely what you do. So like, you're there celebrating my wins, I'm here celebrating your wins, but you're also there telling me you're a fucking mole, pull your shit together, and you'll call me out on it, which is what I love about you.
I
You
really
have
didn't
to
mean
have
to
it.
call you a mole, but like,
But you know, it's been more than once, but it's good.
You probably deserved it, to be honest.
100%.
well, I agree. I think that there's like you should always surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you should always strive to be a better person, and your friends should be that kind of sounding board.
Yeah.
Because they know you. Like they know you better than people on the street. Like,
I love that little smirk that you're just giving
like,
it.
oh, Jesus.
Oh, good.
I've seen everything.
You have seen this guy, I swear to God, just knows way too much about my personal life.
Man.
More than
great.
I'd like to think.
That's good though.
Yeah.
It's like you said, your, what's the word you said before?
Pseudo boyfriend.
Pseudo-boyfriend.
I learned a new word tonight, pseudo boyfriend. I've never heard of that in my life.
Do you know what's actually funny? I get comments all the time. People, before they know that Matt is gay, they actually I get asked regularly, is that your boyfriend? And I go, absolutely not. He is not that into me.
One of my gay best friends is like that.
Yeah, but can I tell you though? Because we regularly wake up next to each other in the same bed. Not that anything freaky is going on.
Are you sure?
But I promise you.
Are you sure?
Do you know that she big spoons me and I wake up and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Right,
Get
I'm
off
really
me.
confused.
He acts like that, but then I wake up in the middle of the night and you definitely have it a little bit of a little spoon back.
A little spoon back, absolutely. But like this one, I wake up in the morning and like you would be convinced that she's a man because like,
oh my God, you actually said this to me the other night. You're like, has she got a hand in her pants?
One hand down her pants, one hand behind her head, legs spread, looking like Hulk Hogan. Like literally, like
it's comfy.
Yeah, I know it's comfy. When you got a dick, like, I don't know, Jesus.
You were like that when I was going to say when we slept together in Queensland, but when we slept next to each other in Queensland, you're like this.
I love.
Maybe you're a bit shy.
I was going to say
acting
she
shy.
wasn't comfortable.
Yeah,
she wasn't comfortable.
she's being shy.
I've seen her warts and all, man.
Yeah. I love it.
It's a phrase.
I love it. That's so funny.
Can I just say?
Tell me.
Something that makes me laugh about you is, on the note of how much you know about me, something that Matt makes us do every time we go on a date with someone, or if we are going on, like, if we've slept with someone, he will literally ask the size question.
Oh, you have to. It's crucial.
I completely agree. And I think for any straight boys listening, do not, under any circumstance, think that your girlfriends aren't talking about your dick. Because they fucking are. They know the size, they know the girth, they know how long you took, they know if you were good or bad, they know your ranking. Mate, we know so much shit.
But what's funnier is if you're friends with Matt, then Matt knows too.
Oh yeah, I know everything. Yeah, fuck it. There's no secrets amongst friends.
But
it is what it is. You know what I mean?
And you know what, girls always talk to each other about everything.
Everything.
And like, there's been relationships that I've been in. Guys are like, oh, you don't discuss this with your friends, do you? Absolutely, we do. Like, girls tell each other everything. Everything.
I completely agree. It's really funny because like having the relationship that I do with you and our other friends, it's really quite bizarre. I have the same relationship with my brother though. My brother and I tell each other everything, and I'm like, this is a bit fucking weird, eh? Like we're not. We shouldn't be comparing notes to this.
Comparing notes.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird sometimes, but yeah,
that's huge.
Well, you know.
Yeah. So that is the value of Matt in your life, I guess.
Bless.
You all need a Matt.
I really do appreciate you.
You all need a Matt.
You're good value.
But I reckon something we do want to go back to is a little bit more about your work. So I just think it's really, really cool and really fascinating what you do. Something I want to ask, because you do get to meet some really cool people. Like, you've got to work with some big names. Is there anyone that you want to drop, or some cool people, or any juice that you'd want to drop on any topics?
Let's start with the cool people that you've worked with first, because
Alright.
the juicy stuff always gets deep, and that's what we want.
I did. This was pretty significant. A couple of years ago, I was looking after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Oh, cool.
Which was great fun, through one of the brands that was sponsoring like the Invictus Games, which is like it's like an Olympic Games but for war veterans, for injured war veterans, which was pretty cool. So they were in town and I was looking after them. And we had them at a dinner, and I was more excited about the fact that next to Harry and Meg's was
Megs.
David and Victoria.
Oh.
And everyone's like, oh my God, David Beckham's here. I didn't give a shit about David Beckham. I was like, that's fucking posh spice.
That's like, posh spice right there. You're on what?
Like, she trumps all you motherfuckers.
Funny.
That was a career highlight. Absolutely.
Did you speak with her?
I did have a chat. She's quite lovely. She's really funny. Really, really funny.
Love
really,
it.
Really
That's
funny.
sick.
Harry and Meghan were pretty indifferent. They were pretty tired by the sounds of things. And David's voice is sky high.
Is it?
That dude's voice, like, oh my God, he sounds like a Mickey Mouse character. Like something out of a Disney film.
Something out of Walt Disney World.
I honestly was so shocked. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, you're 6 foot. Like, he's like 5'10". Like, he's a decent looking guy.
He's very handsome.
And I'm like, then I just hear, Victoria, Vicky. Fuck Vicky. Jesus, she had a deeper voice than him. Like, I was genuinely concerned. I thought the balls were stapled to his chest.
Yeah, Binnett.
Yeah, Binnett. Yeah, it's a nick.
I'm instantly turned off.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I've worked with the Inspired Unemployed Boys quite regularly. I've worked with like the cast of Neighbours, who are it is, but
Neighbours.
I'm trying to think.
Even today, cool what did you? Let's talk to us about what you did today.
Oh yeah, I am.
A
10 drinks deep.
You get paid to party. You get paid to have a good time.
To be honest with you, when like in the nightclubs when we've gone out, people have asked what I do. I'm like, I get paid to party, because it sounds wanky and pretentious, but that's quite true. I literally was at a lunch today that went from 12 o'clock in the afternoon until about 5, and I was obliterated. I was obliterated. I think I had about 6 glasses of wine and a couple of vodka sodas and then a Sambuca shot. Like, I was pretty total by the end of it. But like, liver of steel. It's my job.
And you know what? You've got yourself together. You wouldn't even tell. You can't even tell.
Yeah, couldn't. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. You know what I mean?
But you can hold your liquor.
Yeah, and like, I mean, like, you get to work on a lot of things in my field. Like, we've gone to Beyond the Valley, and we've done Splendor, and these kind of things.
He's a good friend to have.
Oh yeah, Kayla loves a free ticket.
Bet you Kayla loves it.
Loves a fucking free VIP pass. And then do you know what she said to me? Do you know what she said to me though? We were at Beyond the Valley this year over New Year's, and we're doing some stuff for a vodka client of mine.
Kayla loves a free ticket.
No, right. So we got like, I got us all glamping tents. You don't bring no tent. You don't worry about nothing.
It's the bougie stuff.
You go in. There's a teepee waiting for you with a bed, not a roll-out mattress, like a double bed. Right. Yeah. Anyway, so we get there. There's hot showers. There's running water. Everything's there. There's breakfast every day. Anyway, all we had to do, the job description that we had was we had to throw a vodka party for these celebrities for 1 hour a day for 4 days.
Hey, right? I was very, very proud to be there.
Yeah.
On the fourth day,
do you know what she says to me?
We butt in?
Yeah, so they gave my client was like, here's 6 tickets, take 4 of your mates and a videographer, have a really good time and just like enjoy it. Plus, mind you, we brought up like 128 cases of vodka, so it was free drinks the whole fucking time, right? The last day, she goes to me, we're about to leave, and she's like, she goes, you know what, Matt? Oh, don't know if I can do these 4-day festivals again. Like, I'm too old to be doing this kind of stuff. Like, I mean, unless they're paying us,
you're a hero. That's what it is.
Unless they're paying us, like, I did
not say that.
Yes, you did.
I did not say I'm not doing this unless I'm getting paid.
You totally did. And like, my friends and I were looking at it, we're like,
Who bought this bitch?
You fucking just came for free. What are you fucking complaining about? We had a great time. But anyway, yeah, so we've gotten to do some cool things.
Who would be the most difficult kind of celebrity or influencer that you've worked with?
I won't name names because part of a publicist job is to,
of course, yeah, you've got to keep it on the wraps.
Keep a secret. All I can say is that reality TV stars are quite difficult to deal with, and I think that is first and foremost due to the fact that they've only got 15 minutes, right? So they don't know. I don't know if it's a I don't know how to handle this situation. I don't know how to handle all this attention in such a short amount of time. But everyone else has been relatively lovely, but reality TV stars seem to be the most difficult.
Yeah,
and the most diva-like.
Can you say the TV show that you worked, like the reality stars, what TV show they came from?
I mean, like they've been from a couple: Maths, The Bachelor,
just your stock standard ones that are.
Love Island has been. They've been all right, actually. I like the Love Island guys. Wait,
are they Aussie?
Yeah, they're Aussie. Yeah. So they're quite lovely. Yeah. But I mean, like, look, there's been difficult situations nonetheless, but it just depends on the situation and what you're actually asking them. The hard thing is when like you when you have a job to do and they're not delivering on the job. That's the hardest thing, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, right? Like, but I've been on a photo shoot and like a TV star's like literally shoved his hand down my pants. Photo shoot in front of everybody, and then he smacked my assistant.
So a bit of sexual harassment.
Like it's everywhere. It's in every industry, and it's totally
huge.
How do you navigate that? How do you deal with that though?
I literally removed everyone from that situation. Had a one-on-one conversation with him. Had a conversation with his manager. Told him that if he did it again, he'd be off the set immediately.
I was going to say, what are the consequences though for that kind of behavior?
Pretty significant.
It is actually dealt with.
Yeah, had to file a full report and everything.
Okay,
yeah,
well that's
pretty significant.
Wow. That it's actually dealt with though.
Yeah, had to.
Yeah. What would you say would be one of your most most memorable experiences from PR? Like one of the experiences, or would I say the most wild PR event story?
Craziest thing that's ever happened.
I mean, like
a standout.
First thing that comes to your mind.
I mean, like, look, there's been some phenomenal events. Like Glamour on the Grid is like the official launch party of the Australian Grand Prix, and that's always like a hot ticketed event, and it's always great fun. I always have an absolute blast there. Being backstage at Splendor in the Grass with Kendrick Lamar was pretty sick. Like I've done some. Yeah, I had a great time. I was talking to Miguel, and I was like, "Hey, Miguel," I was like, "Coffee in the morning." I was like, and he's like, "Yeah, good job, baby," and I was like, "Thanks, boo." Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. I mean, like, look, there's been some fun stuff. Like, I've gotten to do some pretty cool things. I don't know what the coolest or craziest is, because like, they've all been pretty crazy. They're all on a similar level. I was going
to say, you are going to Sydney or Gold Coast in a couple of weeks to go play golf, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm doing a thing for Mick Fanning's charity day. So we did that last year, and that was great fun.
Describe it. Go.
It's raising money for flood affected victims of the Queensland floods, and it's a very, very prominent charity, and they do some incredible work raising money there. But it's basically just a bunch of celebrities coming to play golf for the day, and then they throw a big party at night in the clubhouse. And it was pretty wild last year. By the end of it, everyone has a great time. 18 holes in the hot sun in the Gold Coast, and then add some tequila, and you're going for it. Everyone's having a great time.
So you can honestly say you get drunk quite often on the job.
Yeah, the liver's great. Yeah.
How many times would you drink a week?
I'd probably drink when it's PR season. The thing is, though, there is a bit of a calendar, right? So like there are certain months, like March is absolutely slam because you got Fashion Week, Grand Prix, and then like you got like November, and that's like you're coming off of Grand Final, and then you've got Spring Racing, and Spring Racing's not just one day; it's 4 days, but it's a full week, and then there's an event every day of those 7 days, and then there's the Christmas parties start, and then this starts, and then there's that event and this event. So it depends on the time of year.
Yeah.
But anywhere from 2 days a week to 7 days a week depends on the
that
job.
Gives me that makes me dizzy thinking about that.
But you know what? I don't get hangovers.
I was actually going to ask you, is there any time where you go, you know what? I'm actually over this. Like, I'm sick of drinking. Do you ever get like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There are certain times, especially after those busier periods, when I'm just like, I just need 2 weeks to fucking recover, mentally, socially, physically, because it's like there is a, and I suppose with anything there's like a limit on what you can do, and I think everyone does have a social battery. Mine's quite large. I love a good social outing, and that's part of my job. But like, I think that there is a point of which everyone needs a break. Everyone 100%. Needs a break. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to date when, like, with the job that you do, or like?
I tend to steer clear of anyone in a similar role.
Oh, okay,
just because I am a very firm believer in not shitting where you eat. And so of egos and personalities in this space, and it's quite nice to have something like there's like, I mean, personally a lot of the industry is Southside based, right, and without getting into geographical politics of Melbourne, I'm a West Side boy. We're all West Side. We're all West Side. But I've always loved being able to go there, have a great time, drink for free, eat for free with all those Turak girls and whatever, and then cool being able to come back and be in reality. You know what I mean? Like having friends that don't give a shit about how many Instagram followers they've got, or like who they're going to be seen with next week, or who made their dress, or if it's this or if it's that, or if they're in the toxic paper. Cycle, it's not real, and it is artificial and it is curated, and I love it. It's great fun to play in, but it's really nice also to then be able to step away from. So dating somebody outside of that circle is always lovely. I've learnt my lesson there.
Yeah. Is there a type of guy that you go for? I reckon we get into some of your dating stories, or because one thing I wanted to bring and discuss with you, we obviously want to get into the relationship side of things. I think it's really fascinating, and also there's a number of questions I reckon that we could ask you, and a number of stories that you could get into on here, which we'll see how deep we get into this. But let's get into your dating life, shall we?
Go for it.
All right. So, what is your current status?
I'm currently seeing someone.
Which is kind of new. Like, not news to me, but I'm surprised you're labeling yourself as seeing someone as opposed to single.
It's kind of like in that in-between stage. We haven't really had the exclusivity conversation yet, but I know it's coming, and like invited to the birthday and this and
Are you going to bring up the conversation, or are you going to wait for him to bring it up?
Look, I'm in no rush, particularly after my last romance. I think I'm very much like, it's totally fine.
And you're 2 months in?
Yeah, about 2 months.
And you're going to like friends' birthdays and stuff already? Cool, confirmed. Just taking a mental note for me.
Georgia, scram.
Okay, cool. 2 months in. Good note.
Yeah.
Fuck it off.
Don't be love
Actually, Matt is the fucking best for relationship advice.
Yeah.
So
it's coming from my really happy and not tragic past.
We're gonna unpack. No. We're gonna unpack his past relationship in a minute. But what I will say is this: I'm almost petrified to introduce anyone to Matt, because I know for a fact if he doesn't like them, it's a no. Like, it's a no-go zone.
Instantly. Introduce guys to him.
I don't introduce anyone, I feel, to Matt now. Because until I'm like, is he going to, if Matt doesn't like him, like, it's just, I've got to leave. I've got to leave him.
You know what the thing is with that, though? Because this is what the conversation that we were having too is, like, sometimes when you're in a relationship with someone, you're so blindsided to anything else that's like going on. You're just so infatuated with them, but your friends and your family will see parts of the situation that you don't see.
Agree.
So like the advice that he tells you, like, or if he doesn't like them, it's advice that you should take.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I like about you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tell us exactly what
I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I don't give a shit. But like my mum does it to me, which is fucking mortifying.
I
don't know. What do you mean? Well, you're the guy that I saw you walking around the river with. I saw you walking around the river with your ex. That's fucking healthy. Yeah.
Hey, listen, right? This is about your relationship.
My
status.
relationship.
Yeah,
God
this is about your
bless you.
relationships. Not mine. Leave me out of it.
Matt can give some a little.
I'll give you advice.
Hey,
I'll give you
listen,
advice.
if I want
Run,
advice-
bitch, run.
She's still going back.
Fuck. I know. Yeah, it's
I
like
love how the question started with what you're doing, and
Yeah.
now we're.
nah, because you're being just Mal Boy. You're like, I keep running back.
Wait, that's a tune, to be honest.
That's a fucking bop, to be
Shout
fair.
out to Jessica Malboy,
Jess
because that
Malboy,
is
man,
a
I
fucking
feel
tune.
bad for that bitch, man. She got shat on by the music industry, but she good.
Everyone gets shut on by the music
I
industry.
know, but she looked good. Yeah, she looked good. I like her.
All right.
Happy day.
Well, we better divert it back to Matthew then before
Okay.
Georgia gets upset. Nah,
God bless.
I won't get upset.
Nah. But in all seriousness, so okay, you're currently seeing someone, but
Yes.
you are a little bit, you're not willing to fast track this because you are probably. How long have you been single now?
October. So what's that now? Maybe like 6.
Oh, that's decent.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
past relationship, how long was that?
It was just under 3 years, the last one.
Let's describe toxic or healthy.
Oh, it started off really healthy.
Yep.
And I think you can attest to that. Like, it was
Yeah.
a really, really great relationship. And I don't think he was a bad guy. I think COVID made the relationship something that it wasn't. He got an opportunity to go overseas with uni. He did, and that's where everything kind of fucking spiraled. I feel like he was trying to make up for lost time, being because he was young. He was a little bit younger than me, but like he was like, okay, I've been in COVID for the last 2 years. I'm finally overseas living my best life. I'm just gonna fuck around and be a fucking dropkick.
But,
So it ended up being quite toxic.
but with this said, like there was a huge there was so much controversy before he left.
Yes.
Right. So before he left, you pretty much openly said, I do not want to do an open relationship.
Correct.
So let's talk about this because you agreed to an open relationship
Yeah.
that went tits up.
Yeah, we did go tits up.
You agreed to an open relationship.
Yeah. So for the interest of the relationship, of preserving it on the other side, and I suppose for this, like some additional context, like open relationships are incredibly common in the gay community. Incredibly common.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to kind of paint that picture for the heteronormative mindset. I find that really quite difficult. But like here we were hearing stories from friends that are gay that were in open relationships that it can work, and these are the steps in order to do and make sure that everything's clear and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so he went overseas. The plan was that I was going to come over in the next 2 months, which I was planning on going over there with work anyway. And then after that point, after I left, we would then begin the open relationship. So that was the agreed upon timeline. What happened in actuality was that like 8 days into his trip, on our anniversary, mind you, motherfucker decided, who shall not be named other than motherfucker.
I reckon fucking air him out.
Nah.
out,
You
that
know what?
one.
Like that's on him. That's his thing. I mean, like, look, I've got no problem talking about this because I feel like there might be some other people going through it, but at the same time, it's like it's not my business to drag his name down. Everyone knows. Everyone that needs to know knows.
Yeah.
The guy, like, on our anniversary, tried to call him, didn't answer, didn't call me back for 3 days. Calls me back in tears, basically just telling me that he had slept with somebody. This person had a very serious STI, like I'm talking the most serious one you could possibly get. And then he was crying and being like, please don't leave me. If you leave me, I'll hurt myself, blah, 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 blah. And like was really kind of emotionally manipulative and forcing me to stay in that relationship for an extended period of time. I ended up cancelling that trip and then ended up going over maybe about 4 months later, and we still tried to make it work, but we obviously closed off. That was the big fucking no-no. And then when I went over there, I found out that motherfucker had been having a great time whilst I was over there. Puff, passing with every Tom, Dick and Dick. Yeah.
Dick and Dick.
Yeah, and the most fucked up thing was that it was one of the guys that had actually told me. So like I had a nightmare and I was thinking about it and I was like really tempted to go through his phone and stuff, but like, and then later that week, one of his mates actually told, one of the guys that he was sleeping with had actually told me and was like, I actually prefer your company. Told me. So it was pretty horrendous. But because I had taken them out for dinner and like I'd offered to pay and a couple of things, and they were so it was very, very toxic in the end, and it did hurt like a motherfucker because that was a 26-hour flight back from Sweden. So thinking about all of that whilst you're on the plane was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But like, look, it ended pretty badly, but it's what it is. Learn your lesson.
Isn't it interesting? So I want to put myself in your shoes for a minute. What advice would you have given me in your situation back then?
I feel that I would have told you to fucking run.
Yeah.
I would have told you to run. But the key lesson that I learned out of all of that was the definition of manipulation. And it was that manipulation is when someone calls you crazy for reacting to their disrespect. Right?
Say it again.
Say it 3 times.
Manipulation is when someone calls you crazy for reacting to their disrespect. And the reason, and it really stuck with me because I was like, when I finally went over there and we were talking about the fuck up that he originally had, he was like, oh, you keep bringing it up. You're crazy. You're just holding on to something, like you should let it go.
We call that gaslighting.
But I'm still processing it. Just because you've gotten the all clear now from the doctor
doesn't mean that
and
you're
you think you want to put
hurt.
it to bed, doesn't mean that I'm not fucking hurt. Doesn't mean that I'm still not processing this shit and wondering how we're gonna go. I was like ready to commit and marry this guy. Like we were like 100% ready to go. So like that was quite a hectic. That was a hectic lesson, but a good lesson.
You held on for so long, and I think you knew how bad it was that, mind you, we had no idea about this, like our immediate friendship circle. It took a very long time for Matt to tell me the truth. And the reason is he fucking knew I would have said, you are an absolute idiot. What are you doing?
The other thing was because it was a serious health concern, the guy had obviously, like my ex had obviously told me not to tell.
Yeah.
And I'm not airing his dirty laundry. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm saying he was young and dumb, right? That's exactly what he was. And like that is totally fine. But like it wasn't my place to tell at that point in time until shit had fucking sorted. And then when everything blew up, I was like, fuck this cunt.
Yeah. And I think the thing is too, it's like when you have deep feelings for someone, like it doesn't matter what the people around you say, you need to come to terms when you need to end it yourself.
Exactly.
You know I think, you do, but you need to
completely agree. And I think to your point of like you not wanting to bring guys around me, like because you know I'll tell you straight up. It was much of that same thing. I knew that like if I told you everything that went down, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. And because you know
at that point.
You wouldn't want to be there.
But also as the person in the situation, you know that you need to leave.
Yeah.
But there's just something that you can't.
Absolutely. There's a lot that kind of rides on. I think that it was a learning experience. Do
you think both, like if you're straight and if you're gay, open relationships work?
I think that what you do in the privacy of your bedroom, as long as it is legal, is none of my fucking concern.
Legal and consensual?
I have no interest in like judging what other people do. What works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. Just don't touch a dog, don't touch a cat, don't like.
Do you think people can have healthy relationships while being in an open relationship?
I know several that have done that quite well, both straight and gay, and they love it. They love it, and I'm really happy for them. I'm glad it does. I'm glad it does work for them.
The question is,
my for me personally, after that experience, never fucking again.
I was gonna say,
never fucking again. And you know what? I bring it down to the fact that I was like, I am too European. Like I was raised on European morals. I want the kind of relationship that my mum and dad have, that my grandparents have. Like it is like it, I'm glad I tried it, because now I know never fucking again.
Never again.
Even thinking about that, I couldn't do it.
I
absolutely could not. I am too jealous, and
I'm way too jealous.
I'm very open about that though.
It was brutal. It's a pretty brutal feeling, and it's not healthy for you or like, you know, everything that it's not good.
Yeah, because I think on the topic of open relationships, I think there's a lot of people that do it to please the partner when in reality they don't actually want to be in the open relationship, but they're doing it because it's what the partner wants.
Yeah.
And that in itself says that things are going to go wrong, because
absolutely.
if you're that person who's not 100% okay with it, you're going to end up resenting them, or
I completely agree. And I think that was the other thing. I always find that I tend to be overly generous in relationship. In terms of like not only in terms of paying for shit, but in terms of like my time and like, you know, giving them what they want in order to make them happy.
Yep.
Whereas, you know how there's like the water.
Yep.
I'm always the fucking water.
I feel like with my previous relationships, I've been the waterer.
Man, fuck the watering can. I don't
I'm
want that
done
shit.
being. I want to be a plant.
Water me, bitch.
I want to be a green plant, not this fake one. I want to be a real one.
Yeah. I want to be a fucking nice little ivy or something.
Yeah.
Like, fucking bird of paradise, some shit.
because that shit don't die.
Yeah, that shit don't die. They grow big too. Yeah.
I mean, I've still managed to half kill them.
That's a big boy.
They're big boys.
They're big boys.
Man, this is a horticultural podcast now. We're talking tonight on Better Homes and Gardens.
All right, let's move on to, I think then what did you already answer what your biggest lesson is then?
Yeah,
from that?
just the manipulation thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So moving on to fast tracking past that, how long would you say you're completely over that breakup now?
I would say that, yeah, I am. But I definitely feel like there's still fucking trauma. I think we all keep trauma.
I think that lingers and that stays with
Absolutely,
you forever.
a long time. I've got trauma from my first relationship when
Yeah.
I was like 18. Like there's some other shit that goes on. Do you know what I mean?
That's not the only toxic relationship you've been in.
No.
Not at all.
I have a very tragic history. No, I mean, like, look, no, I think that but then, you know, when like you're so cut up about it when it first happens, when the first breakup happens, and then 6 months later you're like, yeah, it still fucking hurts, and then like 3 years later you're like, you hear the name of that person that
you're like,
you
fuck that
dated.
bitch.
No, but I'm like, fucking what the fuck was I thinking? Like, do you know what I mean?
They're not
Like,
even your type anymore.
not even your type. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this fucking white boy, like
Literally.
I'm like, this motherfucker, like
Literally.
who gave you, well, why would I ever give you power over me? Who the fuck let you think
And
that
who's
you were King
I
Dick?
to think
King
you could
Dick
hit
with
me?
3 inches. Not fucking happening. No,
Goodbye.
not fucking
Was he a
happening.
white boy?
The last ex?
Yeah.
Nah, he was Latin. He was Latin. Yeah.
Little spice.
Little spice. I do like a little bit of spice. I
You
don't
and I
like the
both.
gringas. I don't like the gringas. I like
The gringas.
Yeah, gringa in Spanish means white bitch.
Yep, love it. I'm going to use that now.
Yeah, honestly, I don't like the gringas. I mean,
No.
like,
You gotta say it with that gring.
the gringa.
The gring.
The gringa.
And you gotta get
yeah.
your shoulders going
But
like
like,
that.
yeah, it's like,
Gotta
it's a bit like, but like, I mean, like, you know, Kayla, you love a bit of mayonnaise. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. I like some chipotle sauce or like
Same.
some
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue
No,
sauce.
I think I'm changing,
barbecue
actually.
sauce.
You're changing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Fucked if I know. But it's not about.
She's going from mayonnaise to aioli, guys. She's moving on up to the east side.
We'll stop going for names with J's then.
Oh yeah, no
Because
J's.
that's too
Oh,
that's too mayonnaise,
That,
isn't it?
that actually hurt my body even thinking that.
Yeah,
Like,
too
that
much
just-
mayonnaise
Ugh.
on that.
Too much mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You need some spice in your life.
I agree.
Yeah.
Spice
Oh,
up your
tell
life.
us-
The
tell us-
Spice Girls said it right.
You
Spice
le-
up your life.
You spice up your freaking life, Kayla. You need to learn. You need to learn how to spice up your life. You need to get cultured. That's what you need to do.
Jesus.
Add some
All right.
barbecue sauce into your life.
You get it. Yeah, trust.
Get it, girl.
You won't go back to tomato.
Let me tell you, once you go barbecue, you won't go tomato.
Yeah, you won't go. You
won't go
back.
tomato.
You won't
So
go back.
how is your dating life going now?
Look, it's fucking glorious. I must admit. Like, I'm having a good time. I'm having a really good time.
So are you exclusively seeing each other?
We haven't had that discussion yet, but I think it's on the cards in the coming weeks.
So are you seeing and dating other people at the moment?
Yes,
I mean,
he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, were you technically single?
Technically, I am single.
technically.
I mean, like, look, like the last fortnight, I definitely haven't, but
Yeah.
I've definitely gone on multiple dates.
Yeah.
And I usually call Kayla before or after.
Oh
a
my
date.
God, he does. Do you know what? It's actually the best. I'll be doing my thing, like fucking probably pampering myself, like, I don't know, doing my thing.
Yeah.
And I get a call from Matt. Oh, here we go. Matt's on a date. Because you know what? I get the debrief. I get the first debrief. Love it.
Yeah.
Do you know
But
what
he
I'd love
calls
to
me
know?
before. He calls me before the date, and then he calls me after the date.
Yeah, for the post-campaign rap report, you've got to
100%.
have like an
I love it.
understanding
Do
and
you know
a
what I'd
ranking.
love to know?
Yes.
So I've got one of my best friends is gay,
God bless.
and he tells me that a lot of guys that he's actually been on dates with or
Yeah.
matched with on Grindr are straight. there's a lot of straight men on Grindr trying to dip onto the other side.
You'll be surprised, man.
Yeah, well, this is what he tells me.
Yeah.
And he tells me that, there's a lot of straight guys on there.
I've dated straight boys. I've dated AFL players. I've seen it all.
Dallas,
I can't name names, but like there is like, look, I think sexuality is a spectrum, right? You fall somewhere on the Kinsey scale. And like, I reckon people are like, have you heard that? The Kinsey scale?
I have. Yeah.
So
I have not heard that.
so like essentially they give you like a number between 1 and 7. Yeah. And like 1, I think, is like super gay and 7 is like super straight, right? So
you have told us about this.
In that way, it's like, so if you were 3, you're realistically bisexual, or like, you prefer one or the other and all that kind of stuff. And I think that most people fall somewhere. They're not, no one's ever a 1 or a 7. Very few people are either a 1 or a 7. Especially in our generation, I feel like if you're a millennial onwards, like we were the Glee generation. That shit was on TV. Do you know what I mean? Like that, you see it. I swear to God. I remember watching it being like, I feel like there's a character for every confusion, every identity, everything on this thing. I'm like, God bless, have a good time. But like, I feel like we literally just had like, there's so much representation that we were like, yeah, okay, cool. I know that I fit somewhere.
I feel like a lot of straight men too that are like, not homophobic, but like a lot of the time when they're the ones that make a big deal out of people being gay,
ones that are
the ones
100%
that are trying to get dicked down.
Look.
And they're the ones hiding it.
100%.
How many guys?
Matt, no comment for Matt because he knows it's true.
He knows it's true.
So all you straight men out there, pretty much what he's trying to say is you're all gay.
No, I'm not.
What he's trying to say is
I'm not saying that. I am just saying
you're all gay.
What did you? Hang on. What's something that you said to my ex-boyfriend? The comment that you made. I don't date.
No, okay. No. Because this is the thing. There are also those straight guys that like when they meet a gay guy, they're like, so like, do you want to fuck me? No. And I said this to your boyfriend literally said that to me. He's like, do you want to fuck me? And I was like, no, mate, I don't eat junk food. And he was so offended.
That was the best.
This is a guy that you were dating.
Yeah. Fucking, yeah.
We're not naming
you. Do you want to fuck me?
Yeah, he said that to me in front of her, right? Like, that's the thing. I don't understand. It's like straight guys see gay guys as like a bit of a challenge. They're like, you know, I wonder if they find me hot. No, mate. You look like a mop. Like, I'm not gonna, why would I ride that? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna want that.
And you actually look desperate at the moment.
A little bit desperate. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but you're coming up at me and looking like, you know, a sloppy Big Mac. And like,
hey, there's actually nothing wrong with a sloppy Big Mac.
Yeah, I know, but like
this week,
but you know when you see, when you see like, you know when like you see the ad and it's like, yeah, this is what a Big Mac should look like. The lettuce is all pre,
and then it comes out,
it's like, it's a bit Darrow. Yeah, that's what he looked like. It was a bit Darrow, right? And then like, but then you've got like a beautifully prepared like beef cheek, and like it's like the jus and the
crisp is just perfect.
And you look at that and you're like, yeah, I want to fucking have that. I don't want to fucking have your sloppy Big Mac.
But then most of the time, the crispy chicken doesn't want you.
I don't want no crispy chicken. Take your fillet of fish and your crispy chicken and fuck right off. Take
that and fuck off.
Fuck off. It's not happening. Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny. So funny.
But yes, to answer your question, there are a lot of straight guys on the gay apps and they love it. I mean, like, all I can say is that you like don't
have they been in relationships with women, or are they?
Yeah,
so they're currently
they are cheating.
There are people that are married on those apps.
Yeah, that's what my friend James says as well.
With kids, like listen, you'd be surprised. And like, look, I don't resent them. I don't hold it against them because I feel like a lot of the time they're older, like not necessarily like in their 50s or something, but like. They're from that generation just before us. Yeah. They probably missed out on that kind of acceptance. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of those stories where people's come out later in life. But what I was going to say is that like we went to high school together. You knew me. I never was bullied because I was gay.
No.
I was school captain at our fucking high school. The principal was gay and out and like totally fine. Like I think that we were very lucky in the space that we grew up. But like, and I know that my experience is not the same as everybody else's or anyone else in our generation. I know people that are our age that copped hell, but I think that it was a lot more likely for us to have an okay time growing up.
100%
than those that came the generation before us.
Yeah. And it's been accepted for a while. There was still a lot of gay people now, like parents' generation, but I don't know. It's been accepted for a while.
Yeah.
Like it's been normal for a while.
Normal. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I bring that to being able to see that shit on TV.
Yeah.
I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
Huge difference.
massive.
Because it's in someone's home already.
Yeah.
So when someone does come out in your family, it's like, oh yeah, well,
oh yeah.
modern
Cool.
family.
Yeah.
What was your parents' reaction when you came out?
Oh, look, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like, mum asked me when I was 17 and it was very cute and I cried and she cried. I was so shocked that I just said yes. And then we told dad when I was 18 and I'd just gotten my first partner. And we were like, and he's like, are you sure? And he cried a little bit. And I was like, don't worry, Dad, you got 3 other sons. The name's going to be fine. Like, but he was fine. He was fine. He was totally fine with it. He was like, just be safe and be careful.
Yeah, you have a very supportive family.
I was very lucky. I was very, very lucky. And I
Yeah.
recognize how privileged I was because like a lot of people, even in our generation, have been like ostracized and kicked out and all sorts of things and don't have that same support network that I very, very appreciative and recognize that.
And it makes such a difference, like to the
huge.
type of person you are as
Absolutely
well.
huge. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the confidence to do what I do if I didn't have that support base.
You have
100%.
Yeah, because you have so much confidence in yourself. But it's
This
great.
ass, I'm fine.
Yeah.
When you look like this.
Yeah, when you look
I
like this.
So each episode we kind of do like a rapid fire question.
Mhm.
So we've kind of put together some rapid fire questions. Wait, am I jumping the gun? No, I'm not. So it's the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yes.
One word
sit,
answers.
You can't sit there and justify it. Just, as soon as whatever comes to your mind, hit us off the bat.
Don't do a
Okay.
Kayla.
Don't do a Kayla and explain your whole answer in 25 minutes.
Jesus. Alrighty then.
Okay, sum up your dating life. I know we kind of already said this, but sum up your dating life in 5 words.
Okay, it's pretty fun. It's adventurous. It's unpredictable. Substantial. And probably overly trusting. Like I'm too generous. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, next one. Or can you drop a name of someone famous you've got drunk with before?
I actually once made out with Solange.
You made out with her?
I made out with her, Beyonce's sister.
What,
Yeah.
Wait, okay. We got to make a pause on the rapid fire because I want to hear this.
Yeah, like look,
How'd that happen?
I went. Yeah, it was. I was 18. I went to her concert. It was at the Princess Band Room or something in St Kilda. It's like a really intimate gig. There's like 100 people there, and then like she had just dropped the Red album, and it was like really.
Is this
intimate.
before or after she slapped Jay-Z?
Before.
Okay.
Before.
Cool. Need to clarify.
Yeah, timeline.
Yeah.
This was like 10 years ago. And like literally everyone left. Everyone kind of like fucked off after she had finished the concert. And my friend and I, we were freshly 18. We were like, we'll go out, we'll have a drink, right? So we had a drink.
Oh, surely.
And the band started drinking with us. So the band was still there and they came out and started drinking with us. We were chatting to them. They were really lovely. And then Solange came out about like a couple of minutes later. And like we started talking to her and we were like, we're such big fans. And she's like, how old are you guys? And she's like, we're like 18. And she goes, okay, tell me 5 things you want to do before the age of 25. And I said, like, I was pretty pretentious. I said, and precocious. I said, I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to start my career. I wanted to buy a house. I wanted to fall in love. And I wanted to make out with a Knowles. And then she was like, well, let's tick one of those off right here.
Oh
and
my
then,
God, that is the
And then we
best.
started making out. We made out for like 5 minutes. It was actually
Oh my
quite cool.
God,
Yeah, it
that's
was
so
quite
funny.
It was quite funny. So that was pretty cool.
What a story.
Yeah, what a story.
You should have said that before.
Oh, I mean, like,
Mate,
it
this
wasn't
guy-
work. It wasn't work. It was just a thing.
A gig that-
Like,
okay,
a gig that
yeah.
I went to.
This guy
Yeah.
has that many stories that he will be back for another ep for
Oh my
sure.
God.
There's some dangerous stories in there. Yeah.
All right, back to the rapid fire. So
Tell
quick
me.
fire questions. What's
Tell
your biggest ick?
People that are lazy, like that don't have ambition, or like that are disrespectful to family.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
we've said that before
Icks
too.
me.
It's
Icks me
a
out the wall.
common thing.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're rude to your mum, don't fucking talk to me. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know that shit.
100%.
Phone call or texter?
Phone call.
100% you are.
100%. I call you 24/7. Yeah.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Obviously,
Easy
you can't
done.
Be, you can't be in PR if you're an introvert.
Exactly. Wrong industry, sweetheart.
We know the answers before you say them.
Yeah.
Star sign,
I'm a Sagittarian.
motherfucking Saggy.
Yeah,
Saggy.
girl.
What's the best advice you've ever given?
So this is something that I regularly say to people. Because Kayla fucking takes it and knows it as no, but you say it as if it's your own.
Kayla loves to take people's sayings.
And then she doesn't credit it.
No, she doesn't.
She did it on another podcast.
I know she did.
Yeah,
she
absolute.
did.
This is one of the times that I'll call you a mole. So
and again, what I said, well deserved.
Yeah. So the best advice I've ever given is to know your worth and add tax.
Yeah.
And I say it all the time. And like there's some context that Kayla always forgets to mention, because I think that it doesn't matter if it applies to work, it applies to relationships, it applies to everything. Because if you're in a work situation, if they're paying you less than what you're worth, you are going to move at the first opportunity, right? If they're paying you your worth but not adding tax, you're always going to be looking on the horizon for something better. You're always going to be keeping your eyes on that job board. But if they're paying you more than what you're worth and then adding tax, trust me, motherfucker, you're going to do whatever you can to keep that job.
Yeah, 100%.
That's exactly what you're going to be doing, because you know that you've got a good gig, right?
Yeah.
The same with relationships. I feel like if someone is not paying your worth, that is nobody that you should have in your life. If someone is paying you your worth and not adding tax, then that is an acquaintance showing you decent respect. That is not a friend. But if someone goes above and beyond just to make you smile, just to make you laugh, will like come over just for a cup of tea, there's no personal gain there whatsoever, then that is someone that you should keep in your life. So that is my motto. And a few people,
I fucking love that.
A few people, I'm going to have to trademark this shit.
You actually should, because
there was a PR girl I told, and now it's in her Instagram bio. And I was like,
next minute it'll be tattooed on her.
Honestly, like I feel like I should.
You actually need to trademark it.
I swear to God, it's not. I haven't seen. It's not from Oprah. It's not from Dr. It came in my brain. Matt fucking Iozzi. Yeah, absolutely. So that's my advice.
I love that though. Like the way you just broke that down. That's exactly.
Absolutely, I completely agree. I think it's the best way to look at life.
Everyone should look at that.
Yeah.
Life, relationships,
everyone should take that piece of advice.
Whatever you want, however you want to look at it.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
All right. What is the worst advice you've ever received?
The worst advice I've ever received was when people are like, "Just wait and see." That's bullshit. Yeah. Get up off your ass.
Bullshit. I reckon you say,
Yeah.
"Just wait and see."
I never say that to you. Just wait and see.
No, you're like fucking.
Depends on. It probably depends on what context it's used in.
Yeah, like, you know, if
just wait and see if the hot dog's coming out or not.
Yeah, like, look, if your hand's in a fire and you're like, just wait and see if I should take it out, you're fucking up, right? But if, like, you know, there's like a pole in between your fucking rib cage, then maybe you should just take it out. Like,
yeah.
Right.
All right, one night stands, yay or nay?
Yeah, go for it. I don't give a shit. Just be safe.
Yeah. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Egypt. I've tried to get into the country twice and I've been knocked back.
Have you?
Yeah. First time I was on a cruise from Sicily to Alexandria, and then I was 19 and the fucking Arab Spring movement popped up and I got turned away. We could see it and they were like, we're going back to Sicily. I was like, great. And the next time it was literally, my brother's a zoologist and he was in Kenya. We were going to meet in Cairo. 8 hours before my flight, they shut the borders due to COVID. Couldn't believe it.
Oh,
so third time lucky.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, it's probably next.
A skill you have wanted to learn but haven't. Is there anything you want to learn?
Yeah, I can't do a cartwheel.
Do a cartwheel.
Do you remember that time?
Teach you.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you remember that time that I did one?
Yeah, and you only broke your hip.
I really broke my leg.
Yeah,
oh, bless.
we're at pitch, and this chick was on cloud 11. She bypassed cloud 9 and 10, like just went straight to the top floor, and was just like, and almost jumped off. Like she crazy. She was
nearly
crazy.
Jumped off.
Yeah, that was when you went
Too
one
quickly,
down. No, yeah,
quickly.
no, that was the same event that you went one down on the Kinsey scale. Remember? Kayla had a lesbian experience at Pitch Festival.
We need to hear about that next time.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, trust me, I got some stories.
Your ideal. No, what are we up to?
Your most irrational fear.
Black water. Like water so deep that you cannot see the bottom.
Yuck. Yeah.
No, not a fan. Not a fan. PTSD.
Yeah, no.
None of that shit.
Have you seen
Jaws? I ain't fucking getting in that water.
Oh, like I'm just getting shivers down my spine.
I am all for like going for a swim in the ocean.
Where you can see the bottom.
If I can see the ground, I'm swimming.
Yeah.
If it gets that deep that I cannot tell the difference between a bush and a shark, I'm out.
Forget it.
Get me out.
Yeah.
Ideal first date.
Dinner, cocktails, live music.
Absolutely. You're down for a cocktail, aren't you?
Stock standard.
Stock standard.
Stock
just
standard.
like just
so you're
but
a
like,
basic bitch.
no, but like as in like if it's something, as long as it's memorable, as long as it's good conversation, I'm fucking down.
Good company.
I don't mind where it is.
Yeah.
Don't mind where
true.
it is.
What is the worst job you've ever had?
Macca's. I was 14.
Is
Yeah.
that Keeler Road?
Keeler Road.
Was
Back in the day, it was
everyone worked there.
Everyone
Did you work
worked
there? No, I didn't. I was too cool for that.
Yeah. Did you work at KFC or something?
That was me.
No, that was no, that wasn't me.
Oh,
That
where'd
was
you work?
me for
My first job
$7.50
was
an
at a
hour.
retail store.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Huh.
at Essendon Depot.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Bless.
No, you worked at Macca's. Bless.
Bless, mate. I
Bless.
saw those Big Macs coming out, going in and going out.
You saw all the sloppy ones, all the put together ones.
Mate, I didn't make a good Big Mac, that's for sure.
You didn't,
Mate,
Oh,
if
bless.
George doesn't go and get a Big Mac after this.
I know, I'm making one this weekend.
Big
I'm
Mac,
guaranteed.
Big Mac, Big Mac.
Would you rather
Yes.
lose all of your teeth
Yes.
or sleep with the person you last slept with
Slept with the person I love.
for the rest of your life? For the rest of your life.
Or lose your teeth for 6 months.
Well, it's pretty good sex, so I'd probably say sleep with the same person.
All right. Well, he's becoming exclusive by the sounds
Well,
of
we
it.
don't-
does
we
sound
don't- we
like
don't
it.
know who we-
Jesus.
We don't know who it was.
We don't know who it was.
Could have been.
I do.
Could have been the guy he was seeing. Could have been one.
It could have been someone else.
It wasn't someone else. It
Okay.
was definitely that guy.
Right.
A quote or motto you live by,
No, you weren't.
other
for that
than
sex.
the one. Other than
Well, okay. Other than that, the other one that I have is protect the work, because someone taught me this early on in my career, and it was integral to me running my business on the side whilst working full time.
Mhm.
Was like, as long as the work was good, they couldn't fault me. As long as I protected my work and I still kept up my high standards, no one could come after me. And I think
100%.
it goes for everything. It's like you can say it in friendships. Like, as long as I'm a good friend, you can't fucking get mad at me, bitch. Like.
yeah,
But
that's
I
on
can.
you.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's on,
but
that's
it's true. So true.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think protect the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think that's everything.
That
God
is.
bless. This was fun.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Mate.
I think you need to come on for another episode because
Oh, Jesus.
there's more that we need to unpack. I feel like we need to know
Lord help
more.
that child.
You're a
We
good
need to
vibe.
hear
You're a
more
good vibe.
dating stories. We need to hear more work stories.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely gonna get.
God bless. Love it. Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
We love.
We love.
All right. Before we wrap up, we just want to say a big thank you to all of you listeners that are supporting the Evolve to Thrive podcast and the episodes that we're bringing you each week. We are episode 7 in, so we would absolutely love for you to leave us a review on Spotify. Serious or what? Your
Just
feedback.
vaping away.
Unbelievable.
Vape it away.
What is
Vape
that
it away.
vape?
It's watermelon. Like,
No, I've never seen something
Filthy.
like that. It's
You're
got a
absolutely
charger at the bottom.
filthy.
Putrid.
Unbelievable. Anyway, to the listeners still sticking around, we would
If you're this far deep, even listening,
far out.
we
You are a true
appreciate-
supporter if you are still around.
We appreciate. So
I mean, if you are still around, like surely you're going to leave us a good review.
surely.
Give us some feedback. It would help us out immensely. Let us know which episode topics you have been loving because we have done a little bit of training, a little bit about nutrition, lifestyle and dating. So let us know what you love the most. We will try and get some more amazing guests on. And if you would like to drop a topic in particular, then definitely slide into our DMs on Instagram.
Slide on in.
Where can they find us, George?
Evolve to Thrive. Is it pod? Yeah, Evolve to Thrive pod.
Podcast.
Or you can find me, Georgia J. Lay, or
Kayla at Kayla_Elizabeth May, or Like a Girl Fitness for all of your fitness and nutrition stuff.
too easy. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.